Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Maple Madness. I'm Sasha and I'll be your host. If you've ever scrolled through X or turned on the news and thought, why does everything feel so angry, so divided, so triggered? Like people can't even talk anymore without exploding. You're not alone. What if I told you some of this chaos might trace back to a Cold War playbook that was never really shut down? Tonight, we're diving into the KGB's favorite weapon, not spies or bombs, but psychological warfare, specifically ideological subversion, and how certain words or phrases can act like triggers, keep societies fighting themselves. We'll look at a KGB defector who'd spilled the beans in the 90s, connect it to stuff like Trump derangement syndrome and phrases or terms like dangerous and divided world.
In a more divided and uncertain world,
Let's get into it. First, meet Yuri Bezmenov. Probably said that wrong. He was a real KGB officer, worked for their Novosti press agency, which was basically a front for propaganda. In the 1970s, he defected to the West, changed his name to Thomas Schumann for safety, and in 1984 sat down for this eye-opening interview that's still floating around on YouTube. I will link it in the description. He said something chilling right off the bat. Only about 15% of the KGB's effort went to classic spying. The other 85%, a slow, patient process called ideological subversion or active measures, straight up psychological warfare. His exact words were, quote, "What it basically means is to change the perception of reality to such an extent that despite the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country." Quote, "It's like a great brainwashing, but slow." He broke it into 4 stages. Demoralization is stage 1. This takes 15 to 20 years, enough time to shape one full generation. Target education, media, religion, social life, erode morals, patriotism, critical thinking, pump in ideology that makes people question their own history and values. Once demoralized, facts don't matter anymore. They can't process true information objectively. 2. Destabilization. Shorter, maybe 2 to 5 years. Now exploit the cracks. Economy, foreign relations, law and order. Create chaos so people lose faith in institutions. 3. Crisis. Up to 6 weeks of total breakdown. Society hits a boiling point, demands radical change. 4. Normalization. The new order settles in. The subverters, or their ideas, take control, often under the guise of fixing things. Bezmenov stressed this happens openly through influencers, professors, journalists, activists. No secret plots needed, just persistent messaging that conditions responses. And here's where trigger words come in. Think Pavlov's dog. Repeat a phrase enough, pair it with emotion, fear, anger, outrage, and it becomes automatic. No thinking required, just reaction. Words like that bypass logic and keep divisions sharp. Fast forward to today, 2026. Does any of this sound familiar? Look at how polarized we are. Constant crisis mode, endless threats, division. The other side is destroying everything. It mirrors destabilization, keeping people off balance so they can't solve real problems calmly. We can't even coherently address the problems. Take Trump derangement syndrome, or TDS. Coined by critics, it describes what looks like irrational, intense hatred toward Donald Trump, where even neutral or positive facts about him trigger outrage. On the flip side, some see blind loyalty as its mirror image. Either way, Trump itself has become a trigger word for a huge swath of people. Say it and boom, automatic emotional response. Nuance, gone. Bezmenov warned that demoralization makes societies unable to defend their interests coherently. In a world flooded with info, social media, 24/7 news cycles, we still end up more divided than ever. Why? Because the conditioning is there. Repeat threat to democracy or existential danger enough on one side, deep state or woke on the other, and it conditions knee-jerk reactions. Psychologically, this is classic conditioning. Repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity breeds acceptance, even of division. Add in echo chambers, and it's amplified. Both sides do it to some degree. It's not exclusive to one ideology, but the effect, a dangerous and divided world, as Mark Carney likes to repeat, that keeps everyone on the edge, just like active measures aimed to do. Critics of Bezmenov say he exaggerated for Cold War drama. And sure, not everything lines up perfectly, but the framework holds up when you see how disinformation, foreign or domestic, exploits existing cracks to widen them. Russian ops today still amplify U.S. division online. It's like the evolution of the same playbook. So what does that mean for us? The KGB's biggest success wasn't conquering territory. It was making people conquer each other. Spotting these triggers isn't about paranoia. It's about awareness. From a Psych perspective, constant exposure to division, to divisive rhetoric, spikes stress, erodes trust, and polarizes us further. It affects mental health, more anxiety, less empathy. The antidote? It's real simple. Pause before reacting. Question the knee-jerk response. Seek out the views that challenge yours. Talk to people who disagree with you without it turning into a battlefield. Awareness breaks the conditioning. If enough of us do that, the subversion loses. Well, that's it for episode 1. If this resonated or made you think, hit me up on X at Sasha P_CA. All right, I'm out.